Hello. So one of the things I notice with beginning programmers when they are writing their helper functions have a tendency to do too much. So it is helpful to follow the rule that each function has one job and one job only. Now, main's job is always the same. Main's job is to basically start and end the program. It is sort of the structure of we're going to run through main and we're going to call functions as we need. So that's the job of main. Main is special. It basically has the job to start the program and move you from the start to the end of that program. Helper functions can have any number of different functions, but each one should have one job and one job only. So, for example, if you have a tic-tac-toe game, you don't want your helper function to both validate your input and return the winner. You want it to just do one of those things. It needs all the code that it needs to have to do that one job and one job only, and no additional code. Now, on the other hand, you can go too far and you can break it down too much to where really functions are sort of only doing half a job. So, I mean, you don't want a function that just takes input. That's unnecessary and just sort of adds to the code. But you might have a function that takes input and validates it and returns some validated input. That would be a good helper function to write. So we're always going according to sort of the Goldilocks rule, right? We don't want it to be too complicated. We don't want it to be not complicated enough. We want the function to have one job and one job only. Everything it needs to do that job. If it's doing multiple jobs, you've gone, the porridge is too hot. If it's not actually doing a complete job, then the porridge is too cold. So it really just takes practice. You have to get experience writing functions, and you'll start to notice, like, oh, I have this function doing too much, or oh, this function really isn't doing enough. It's just sort of a waste of having a function. So it just takes practice. So happy programming, and get some function practice.